What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Thanks for tuning in and listening, whether you're off driving, maybe you're exercising, maybe you're doing stuff for your own business and you're just, you like me in your ear sometimes. I appreciate you guys listening, and hopefully you get as much out of these podcasts as I get out of doing them and helping other people. So I'm back with another really good podcast for you guys. And this one, I'm going to be really, really transparent, so you know exactly what's going on. And what I want to talk about today is, what exactly do I invest? Like, how much do I invest in my business, and what do I invest in each month and each year? So you guys can get an idea of what to expect, and for long term, and get an idea of kind of what I do as far as how I've grown my business, the tools that I use, the investments that I make. And I'm talking about investments as in tools and resources to help my business either be more efficient, grow, all of those things that are important if you want to actually build a solid business foundation. And I want you to keep in mind that this is here and now. I didn't start out like this. These were layers of the onion that I built in over time. You don't just start out throwing all this money at all these different things, and especially if you don't know the right direction, and if what you're doing is going to be as successful as it could be, because you do pivot a lot. Most people do when they start a business. They don't hit a home run right out of the gate. You have to learn and pivot, take things slow, and embrace the journey. As I always like to say, it is a journey, whether it's selling on Etsy, or I talk about selling on Etsy specifically, but you have to take a step back. And even though you're using the platform to sell on Etsy, you are building a business. You're building a solid business foundation. So whether you're using the platform as Etsy to actually sell your products, you should still be looking at it as an actual business, and that is what you're trying to build and grow and add those foundational elements to your business. All right, so I'm going to run through, and a lot of these I've done specific episodes on, so I'm not going to do a deep dive in a lot of this stuff, but I want you to get an idea of kind of where I'm at, and I think I got most of the stuff. I'm sure there's probably some stuff that I'm missing, but keep in mind, this is 8 years in. I did not start out this way, and I ran very lean, very cheap at the beginning, and then as I wanted to grow, I invested in my business strategically with things that could help me, be more efficient, things that could help me grow. So the first one I want to talk about is Aweber. That is building an email list so you can build a loyal following even outside of Etsy. So that ranges in price depending on how many subscribers you have. I think for me, I think it's anywhere from like $20 to $30 a month. So building an email list is super important to any business, and your business should also have that. The next tool that I use is Tailwind for Pinterest scheduling. So that ranges again from $10 to $20 a month. It just helps you post and schedule stuff, bulk schedule. Social media posts is always beneficial to save you time, so you're not bouncing around during the day to try to get stuff scheduled. Later is also another scheduler, which you can use for Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. Some of them you can only use to certain platforms, so you may want to have multiples. So that ranges from $10 to $20 a month, depending on your plan, or even higher than that, I think. But that is helpful to schedule out your stuff to save you a lot of time and just make it. There's a lot of tools in there to make it a little bit easier for you. The next one I use is as far as for SEO and keywords and all that good stuff. I use Allura. And then I also use eRank as well. Allura is my favorite. I'm really high on Allura because their features are simple, easy, actionable. It's a lot harder to stay on track in eRank because you can get a little bit lost, but they do have some features that Allura doesn't have. But Allura is a lot more actionable in my opinion. But both are good. And as far as me being a coach and an Etsy expert, I have to invest in a lot more stuff than maybe you guys need to, because a lot of this stuff I test out just to make sure that it's the right fit before I ever talk about it. So I don't talk about anything that I don't actually use. I have people coming at me all the time with different tools and resources, and if I don't like them, I'm not going to talk about them or use them. So Allura E-Rank are my two favorites. Allura is my number one favorite. They range from anywhere from $10 to $20 a month, depending on your plan. A lot of times you can get discounts if you do like a year plan and stuff like that. But they are invaluable for SEO, and there's other tools in there that are really good for your Etsy business specifically. Canva, they have a pro plan, which that's good for editing pictures, removing backgrounds. So I think that's around $10 a month. They also have a free plan, which is really good as well. Lots of resources, but the pro plan's awesome. Has additional features and resources for picture editing. It's pretty easy to use. I enjoy it, especially if you don't want to learn like Photoshop or anything crazy like that. Back in the day, I had to teach myself Photoshop, which is kind of a nightmare. I'm glad I know it now, but it is not an easy platform to use. It is a whole, so there's a reason why people do entire college level classes, multiple classes on Photoshop, because it is a very in-depth program. You can literally do anything, but it's not easy to do anything or everything on there. As far as Etsy ads, some of you guys may or may not be doing Etsy ads. That is something that you got to be strategic with. But I spend anywhere from a couple $100 to $1,000 a month on Etsy ads. Again, I test a lot of stuff out with them, a lot of different strategies. Sometimes I spend more than I probably should or I need to, but I just think it's important to test things out to see what works, what doesn't work, and sometimes you got to put a little bit more money behind it to speed things up. Sometimes you just have to fail fast so you can move on, and that does require some money. And whatever the case may be, it helps me develop resources and bring stuff to you guys where I can tell you, hey, this works, this doesn't work, at least in my experience. So to do what's right for your budget, it may be something that you want to test out, but I'm sure you're not going to test out that big of an ad spend, nor should you early on in your journey, even before maybe you're established. And you learn all the best practices. You have to build organically and sell organically and grow organically before you just throw ad money at everything, because it's not going to fix your problems. It's just going to make you spend more, and it's going to enhance the problems that you already have. If you don't have your SEO right, you don't have your listings right, it's just going to bring more traffic to your shop, and people still aren't going to buy. It's just going to hurt you worse as far as the algorithm goes. So make sure you get the foundational stuff good down before you throw money at it. The next thing is Etsy Plus. If you want some extra features, such as being able to easily move around pictures in your banner image. They also allow you to feature another section or listings as far in your Etsy shop. You can feature an additional one. There's also some navigational things. You can move stuff around, I think, a little bit easier. And then they give you discounts. You get like $5 in ad spend credit a month, $3 in listing credit a month. So it's really only $2 for the added features. They don't give you a lot of stuff, but I like the banner functionality. I can move pictures in and out a little bit quicker. You don't have to mess around with Canva as much. So that may be something that you want to invest in. QuickBooks is another one for taxes. You can import everything in through Etsy to QuickBooks and then either transfer that to TurboTax or print it out and give it to your accountant, whatever you want to do. That may save you a lot of time, so you don't have to manually do it. I think that is a really good one. I have tested Facebook and Instagram ads in the past. I don't do as much right now. I'm not doing as much, but I've spent upwards as much as $500 to $1,000 a month in Instagram and Facebook ads to kind of test that out for my business, see if it was right for me, see how it would perform, but also learn again so I could see what works, what doesn't work, so I could bring that to you guys. Equipment. You always got to be investing in your business with either new equipment, replacement equipment, or equipment that'll help grow your business for efficiency, or maybe you want to, get something that will bring another avenue to your business. Like for instance, I, do screen printing, but I wanted to learn sublimation printing. So that's a whole nother process, a whole nother printer. So I've invested in a whole nother printer, which is not cheap. That's like $1,000 extra dollars. But if I could add that layer to my business and grow my business that way, that was, in my eyes, a smart thing to do. So depending on what your niche is, you may have to invest in equipment so you can grow and add new product lines and things like that. So always think about it that way, but you also want to invest in new equipment to add efficiency. Maybe you start with, I started with the cheapest screen printing press I could find. A couple $100, super cheap, but it was terrible. It would always be messing up. It would cost me a lot of extra time. So the first thing I did when I started making more sales was use those profits and invest in a new press so I could be more efficient, mess up less. And in return, that's going to allow me to make more money down the road. I know it's a little bit painful to reinvest your profits, especially right away, but you have to consistently be prepared to keep investing in your business. Supplies, depending on your niche, that can vary. For me, it varies from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 a month, depending on when I'm reordering supplies, packaging supplies to make your products. So different things like that you have to be prepared for, but that's part of things that you have to factor in with your profit margins, and you're always going to have to invest in supplies for your business in order to grow. I think that's most of them. The last one I'm going to talk about is actual, training courses, masterminds, resources, books, guides, stuff like that to invest in your business as well. And this is something that's probably the most overlooked thing because people don't want to spend money on courses or resources, which I don't really understand. I guess maybe when early on in my journey, I didn't want to invest in those resources. But if you could follow someone else's journey and get the resources to get you along quicker, so you could get the knowledge to move your business along quicker and not try to figure things out on your own. And that's really invaluable, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. You can also join masterminds to keep you motivated. You can buy books to keep your mind right, give you ideas, keep you motivated in your business journey. A lot of great business and motivational books out there as well. But that's an important part of growing your business too, is investing in those resources and kind of shifting your mindset on that. Because people will go to college, they'll spend 20 to 50 grand a year sometimes on college, but when it comes to growing their own business, they're not going to spend money on resources to give them the knowledge that they need to grow faster. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is, but your business is, it's important that you invest in it, not only with material things, not only with tools, but investing in your business with knowledge, which is also going to help you. It's really about investing in yourself. So keep that in mind. Join. Don't be afraid to pick up some business books. Don't be afraid to branch out, do different things. Invest in courses if you want to learn a specific area or a specific element. If you want to grow your business outside of Etsy, invest in a Shopify course or things like that. That will help give you ideas so that you can stay on track and grow. You never know what you might want to learn. Of course, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it 1,000 times. I have the Handmade and Beyond community, which has courses in there as far as the Etsy Success Roadmap to teach you how to grow your Etsy business and build those layers to build a solid business foundation. There's also live coaching in there every month. And then we have a help forum so you can get any question answered. And then I'm always adding new elements to it, such as boot camps and challenges and stuff like that for members to keep it new, exciting, and fresh, and keep you on track to not only growing your Etsy business, but growing you as a solid business foundation. That's what I always talk about. It's like in and outside of Etsy, there's a lot of similarities and a lot of things that are important to building a solid business that someday if you want to leave Etsy, you can use those same techniques and elements to grow your business as well. Some things are specific to Etsy, which I also teach you in there, but some things can be the same across the board. But I always offer for new members a 30-day free trial to get inside the Etsy or inside the Handmade and Beyond community with all those resources in there. I would love to help you grow your business, strategize, teach you the best practices. I do shop critiques, listing critiques, SEO, deep dives, all that good stuff is in there because I know how hard it is to start out your journey. You're not sure what to do. You're not sure what to focus on, so you make a lot of mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes that slowed me down for years before I really buckled down, figured out what to do. did a lot of testing. So I want to help you guys avoid those pitfalls, move along your journey a lot faster. And if you're willing to invest in your business, in yourself, I'm going to invest in you back by helping you as much as possible and helping you get along faster in your journey. If you're already a member, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And I'm going to continue to do everything I can to help your business grow. I'm always investing in new resources and new things for the community, and I'm never going to stop. I want to be your advocate to help you be a successful business owner, and because I love hearing the success stories. I have a lot of members that have been very, very successful over the years, so I want to help you be the next success story in there. So there's a link below if you want to hop in there. Hopefully that helps you guys out as far as figuring out what to invest in. Keep in mind, like I said, it takes time to invest in the tools. You're not going to do that all right away, but have that plan in place. You just don't want to take from your business. You have to give in order to get sometimes. So don't forget that. Have the plan in place, set aside a part of your budget so that you can grow your business and be more successful down the road. Until next time, I'll be back with you guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. Happy selling.